Hello and welcome. I'm Sulaiman Alede. Tonight, a bomb blast detonated by a female suicide bomber leaves 7 people dead in Damaturu, the Yobe state capital. Deputy Governor of Borno State, Zanna Mustafa, alleges that over 600 suicide bombers have been set out to storm Maiduguri. Channels Television officially launches its news and current affairs station, Channels 24 in the UK. And an Egyptian court sentences ousted President Mohamed Morsi to death over a mass prison break in 2011.
And on business news tonight, rice production is on track to reach a new record high as the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture and the Africa Development Bank partner to boost Nigeria's agricultural base.
And on sports news, Captain Steven Gerrard bids farewell to Liverpool with a guard of honour as the 709th game for the Reds ends in a humbling defeat to Crystal Palace.
We begin tonight in Damaturu, Yobe State, where a heinous act has left 7 people dead. A female suicide bomber detonated an improvised explosive device at the entrance of the Damaturu Central Motor Park in Nigeria's northeast region. Eyewitness accounts say the female suicide bomber detonated the bomb at a gate close to where security checks were being carried out, killing 7 people and injuring several others. The Damaturu Specialist Hospital has since been besieged by several residents and sympathizers who trooped there to find out the whereabouts of their loved ones who might have been affected by the blast. The medical director of the hospital, Dr. Garba Mustafa Fika, says 37 injured persons were brought to the hospital from the scene of the blast.
The once lively and busy commercial center behind the Damaturu Motor Park, where the explosion occurred, now deserted. Traders and buyers abandoned their wares, leaving behind signs of disarray and confusion that passed through the neighborhood. At the Damaturu Specialist Hospital, hundreds of sympathizers gather, while friends and family members of the victims troop in to know the fate of their loved ones. The state governor, Mr. Ibrahim Gaidam, is here to see things for himself, and the chief medical director of the hospital, Dr. Garba Musa Fika, gives a rundown of the casualty figure and steps being taken to treat the victims.
Apart from those that are dead, we have about 7 patients who are critically ill. Most likely they are going to the theater to have some surgical operations to take care of their various illnesses. The others will be treated here. We have a kind of memorandum of understanding between the Yobe State government and the Federal Medical Center Nguru, Federal Medical Center Azare, and Aminu Kano Teaching Hostel. So those victims that we cannot comfortably treat here, we refer them to such medical centers or teaching hostel. They will treat them, and then they will send the bill to the Yobe State government, who the Yobe State government, since the onset of this insurgency, has been taking care of.
Governor Gaidam condemns the dastardly act and pledges the state government's resolve not to be broken by the terrorists.
Whatever the Almighty God destined that they can happen at a particular point in time, they have to happen. But I can assure you, we are being tested. Our iman are being tested by the Almighty Allah, and I'm very sure we are going to win the test. And those who are critically injured and those who are now being treated in this hospital, I pray to Almighty Allah that they will get quick recovery of the ailments they experience as a result of the burn blood, inshallah. It is my also prayers that the Almighty Allah will not allow this thing to happen either here in Yobe or anywhere in this part of the country in future, inshallah.
He commiserates with the families of those killed in the blast and called on residents to be more vigilant and to always assist security agents in the fight against terrorism.
Now, Yobe State is not the only state counting its loss in the region. Its neighbors share in this as Boko Haram militants have once again struck in Borno State, capturing the town of Mati. Reports say the terrorists who fled from their base in Sambisa forest had regrouped in Mate. Beyond this recapture is this worrisome confirmation from the Deputy Governor, Zana Mustafa, that Boko Haram has dispatched 600 women and girls as suicide bombers with the aim of causing multiple explosions in Maiduguri.
When I heard of the 600 suicide bombers have come into Maiduguri, and virtually we receive on the WhatsApp and Facebook parts of human body shells in somebody's house in Maiduguri, I become so scarce and say, well, which means the coffee is supposed to be imposed as a result of what we've seen, because women came into Maiduguri, according to the intelligence report and what I saw, and human parts, a woman's parts, body, head and legs, absolutely destroyed by the military operations around somebody's house in the Maiduguri opposite Yobe. This really made me kind of so concerned about the people and concerned about the situation. And even when they asked for the coffee, we said, well, if it is so, based on what we saw and the intelligence report we had, let them go ahead and impose the coffee. So perhaps not quite about 30 minutes ago, I was being informed that coffee has been relaxed from 12 o'clock to 5 o'clock this evening. They want to look at the situation, and if the situation says okay, I think by tomorrow they will be able to do something on the coffee. And really we want to call on our people to be exercise patience as we are used to. It's not over yet. 90% of the community has been liberated, but it's not over yet. I was in Abuja trying to fight for the opening of the airport, and unfortunately when we have this bad news, it becomes a very big setback.
Deputy Governor of Borno State, Zana Mustafa, confirming to China's television that Boko Haram has dispatched 600 women and girls as suicide bombers. Now, about 1,400 indigents of that state, that's Borno State, repatriated from the Niger Republic, will have to tarry a while before they get a permanent resident in the state. The deportees are among the over 6,000 sent packing from Niger after an attack in the West African country carried out by the Boko Haram sect. They have found temporary shelter in a new camp established by the state government, bringing the number of camps established for internally displaced persons to 21.
Today, the deportees have no other option than to be sheltered in makeshift camps in Maiduguri, the capital city. They are now housed in a government-owned 400 housing estate along Gubio Road. They have a harrowing tale to tell. Take heavily pregnant 15-year-old Aisha, for instance. Hours of trekking under torrid conditions had dire consequences for her condition. She is not the only one with a dark story to tell.
Karanga town was attacked, and we are neighbors and probably their next target. Even the soldiers deployed to our area withdrew, so we had to escape. We traveled on foot for 2 days. They burnt our houses here in Baga and sacked everyone, so we escaped to Niger. We started farming to support our families until recently, when the Nigerian government asked us to leave.
For some others, they hope to reunite with their families.
We were terrified when we heard about Boko Haram attacks around us, so we trekked for days until we got to Gaidam in Yobe State. A lot of people died on the way out of hunger and thirst. Some of my family members who escaped from Baga are in Maiduguri, but I'm yet to meet them.
The State Emergency Management Agency, SEMA, obviously has its hands full, but they have a game plan as well.
The government of Borno State spends a huge amount of money in taking care of these IDPs. Accommodation is also a problem because most of these IDPs do occupy our schools. Our children here in Borno State, our students have not gone to school for over 1 year.
In order to execute this plan, SEMA will, however, need the assistance of the federal government.
We are appealing to the federal government and other NGOs to come to the aid of the state to help us in having makeshift tents and to come to the aid of the state government in order to alleviate the sufferings of the IDPs and the camps.
The agency has created this camp because of the situation that these deportees have found themselves. Some of them, though Nigerians, were born in Niger and have never been to Nigeria. SEMA plans to console them and treat those that are traumatized with the intention of allowing them to mix with other Nigerians sooner than later.
Pirates swimming in troubled waters. The Joint Task Force Operation Polo Yield Shield in Bayelsa State has arrested 4 suspected sea pirates at Nembe communities in Bayelsa State. The coordinator, Joint Media Campaign Center, Lieutenant Colonel Isa Ado, while briefing journalists in Yenagoa, says the suspects, before the arrest, were responsible for all the attacks and sea robbery activities in Nembe waterways of the state. According to him, they take advantage of the difficult terrain and maneuver in the creek to unleash attack on their victims.
The arrested persons are Robinson De Wario, David Mahale, Joke Daukoru, and Lelegete Dikoro. Items recovered from the pirates include 2 AK-47 rifles with registration numbers QQ1798, 4 rounds of 7.62 mm special ammunition, and 1 G3 rifle loaded with 7.62 mm NATO and 1 pump action loaded with cartridges.
In part 2, after the break, Channels Television officially launches its news and current affairs station, Channels 24 in the UK. Stay with us.